Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome along to your 5 p.m. Rangers news. Is that what we're calling it? Or are we just calling it an evening rabble? Or I've got no idea. But hello, everybody. Welcome along to the Rangers Rabble Podcast. My name is Martin. I'm your host for this evening. We will be joined shortly by Alex to discuss all the latest Rangers news, which, if we're being brutally honest, it's still quite quiet, considering obviously what happened with Scotland the other night qualifying for the World Cup. We'll get the press conference tomorrow from Danny Rohl in regards to build up to the Livingston game. But please do, folks, get your comments in. Any and all comments welcome. I will bring up as many as I can. I will answer as many questions as I can. If indeed you want to ask a question, then please put a nice big capital Q in front of that, just so I can determine what's a comment and what's a question. It would very, very much help me. Yeah, Alex is the hold up. We're just waiting on Alex appearing, JD. And I thought I can't have the masses, all those hundreds of thousands of people sitting there waiting at 5 o'clock for me to start, because people have got stuff to do with their time. So I couldn't let the masses wait any longer. So I thought, Martin will come on, Martin will start, and we'll have a nice wee conversation until Alex gets here. If I could ask a massive favour of everybody, if you are watching on YouTube, if you could please give the show a like and make sure that you are subscribed. It really, really does help out. And of course, if you want access to loads and loads and loads of extra content, like so tonight, at 7 o'clock, we've got a Q&A with myself, actually, where we just have a nice wee chat about everything and anything for about an hour. And that's what we're doing tonight. This morning, of course, we had the morning phone in as well. And Paul knows what he done. And Paul knows that he's very, very close to a ban from the channel. So Paul needs to seriously watch himself. But yeah, for as little as £1.99 a month, you can get access to loads and loads of extra content, folks. Links are available in the description, either the YouTube memberships or Patreon, whatever tickles your fancy. Let me just I'll do this. I'll do this, right? Is this not a Rangers podcast? So why keep mentioning Scotland? It is a Rangers podcast, but I'm also Scottish. And there is many, many, many Rangers fans who still support Scotland, who are still interested in Scotland. And the Rangers Rabble caters for every Rangers fan. Every Rangers fan. Whether you're interested in the women's team, the youth team, the main team, whether you're interested in what happened 50 years ago, last week, what you want to happen next week, the following week, Scotland, whatever you're interested in, we cater for everybody here. So we will discuss everything and anything. And it was a massive night for Scotland. It was a massive night for the country. Why not be happy and discuss it and talk about it? Because there is plenty of Rangers supporters out there who love Scotland. So I'm not going to apologise for discussing Scotland because I'm Scottish. So yeah. So folks, what's happening? Well, what is the latest sort of Rangers news? Well, to be fair, like I said, folks, there's not a lot. Danny Rowe has been out speaking, though. He has obviously done an interview in the lead up to the games at the weekend, and he has spoke about weeding out the bad habits. Now, we have heard this from how many managers? How many managers have we heard discussing this about weeding out the bad habits, about getting new ideas into the team, getting the confidence up in the players? Clement spoke about it. Russell Martin spoke about it. Now Danny Rowe is speaking about it as well. So it's great that he's saying it, and it's great that he's had in the league a very, very good start. Won every league game he's competed in so far. But the question is, how do we then go about changing the mindset of these players, bringing the confidence back into the players? How do we go about it? That is the question. That is the question that Danny Rowe is going to have to answer. So again, words are amazing. Words are great. Actions are better. Actions speak louder than words. So that's absolutely something that that Danny Rohl has to get his head behind and deal with. The reason I'm laughing, folks, is we're going to be joined now by our very own high tower himself, Alex. Alex, how are you?
I was done in. Jesus Christ. I did about 3 steps to get home, mate. I was like, no, I'm coming. So I'm here, mate. I'm good. I'm just finished and thought, you know what? I don't help at this time, so why not jump on and help out for a change, mate?
Help out for a change? Oh, fair
Right.
enough. Fair
Just for a
enough.
change, why not?
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Alex. I was just discussing there, obviously, Danny Rohl's comments about changing bad habits within the team, within the dressing room, and I was just saying, we've had umpteen managers come in and say that. And words are fantastic, words are great, actions are better.
100%, mate. I think that a lot of managers have come in and said that they want to change the mentality of the team. They want to change the attitude, start getting a winning mentality back and a winning ways. And then we don't see it. We seem to see it for maybe a game or two. And then if we suffer like a bad defeat or a bad spell of form, the players almost seem like the down tools. The thing with Danny Rohl, though, is I feel confident in, one, the way he's spoken, and two, he's delivering results. Martin, yeah, we were unlucky at Hampden. Obviously, going down to 10 men doesn't help at all, but we showed a bit of fight. He's shown as well that he can change things when not going well. And that's what we like to see, because a few of our managers now haven't been actually up for changing like formation, shapes, players, rotations. If you're not playing well, you're getting dropped. Danny Rohl seems to be the man to do that. And I think that, yes, it's going to take time, because when you look at the players we've got, they obviously have suffered a fair bit under the Russell Martin regime. For how short it was, they still have suffered, and the attitudes have become a bit worse, you can say. So hopefully under Danny Rohl, we're actually going to see a bit more positive. I think for me, it's going to be January, depending on the players that Danny Rohl gets in. Are the new players going to come in with a new attitude and a positive attitude that we can see change? Or are the old guard going to almost implement, this is the way we are at this club, and this is how it is, regardless of how Rangers Football Club actually should be?
Yes. Just as quickly for Mark Doyle, who's been a member now, Alex, for 33 months. That's longer than a lot of relationships last, by the way. So, Mark, thank you very much, my friend. I'm a Rangers fan and a proud Scotsman as well, as being proud to be British. We are both. Yeah, I think that's the way the majority of Rangers fans feel, to be honest. And look, we're going to discuss. I think this needs discussed more and more and more. Right, this is a Rangers news show, right? So this isn't really about Scotland, to be honest. It's not. We do members shows that go in and discuss all this sort of stuff. But where's the comment? From Snorby. Scotland fans booed Ryan Jack and chanted "Stand up if you hate Rangers." No, from me. And then AJ has come back in, Alex. With Scotland fans didn't boo Ryan Jack. Certain fans did. On a Tuesday, they booed the Celtic goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Have we as and I'm more than happy to admit this as well. Have we as Rangers supporters? And I said this. I think I said this on the morning show. I think I was talking to multiple man at the time that after 2012, I despised pretty much all of Scottish football, right, for the situation that Rangers were in. Now, there was a lot of bad actors out with Rangers that were desperate for Rangers to go where they went, but it was also a lot of bad actors within Rangers. It was one of the leading causes as to why we went where we went, right? But I had the blinkers on. I hated every team in Scotland. I couldn't stand the SFA. I still can't stand the SFA, but I couldn't stand the SFA. I had no interest in the national team. Have we, as Rangers fans, or has a section that includes me, as Rangers supporters, allowed what happened in 2012 to overtake everything in terms of what we think and feel about the Scottish national team?
I think so, mate, because I was part of that cohort as well. I refused for a long time to just watch anything Scotland related. I didn't tune into any of the games, whether it be like Euro qualifiers when the Nations League started. I spent a lot of time just watching none of it, and I think it's been like that for a while for a lot of Rangers fans, because of what happened. They don't want to almost forgive what's happened with the teams that were more than happy to see us go down and the way that we were treated by the SFA. But I think that there's also then a support who are saying, well, actually, I am Scottish, so I want to support my national team, and are almost getting as we've spoke about it a few times, they're getting the criticism from the other Rangers fans for doing that, which is, I know you're entitled to your opinion at the end of the day, and you can do what you like, but we can't be, as a support, turning on other fans just because they want to support the Scottish national team. That comment you brought up with for the 33 months from Mark is correct. There's fans that will see themselves as Rangers fans, Scotland fans, and say they're British. So why can't we be Scotland fans supporting our club? We've got players in our team that were, well, John Souttar has heavily featured for quite a few games now for the Scotland national team. So if we're not supporting it just to support Scotland as a whole, are we not then going to just give our support to John Souttar? I mean, we spoke about how we have been watching like Belgium for Nico Raskin. Folk have started to tune in to the Canadian results for Derek Cornelius. We've been doing it for a lot. We were talking about the Portuguese under-21s because Chermiti was involved in that. So is it all right to be looking at other nations and saying, I hope they do well, but because of what happened in 2012, we can't be backing our team when our players are actually trying to strive to get into that setup?
Yeah, and look, this has went in a completely different direction to what I expected. I do apologise, folks. This is a Rangers news show, right? It is. But yeah, and I get people's anger at the SFA. The SFA could have done a lot more to help Rangers. I mean, you could argue with the SFA and the Craig White stuff. I mean, this could be an endless conversation, right? You can be angry and dislike the SFA, like not just Rangers fans do. A lot of supporters in Scotland can't stand the SFA. You can be angry at individual clubs who seem to take glee in the position that Rangers were in, not knowing how it would affect them further down the line. We can have all those discussions, and you can be angry at all that, but you can still support your national team without supporting the SFA, and you can still support individual players in those teams who aren't necessarily Rangers players. Now, I'm one who's admitted, Alex, I've admitted it. I don't have the same feeling for the Scottish national team as what I used to have. And it's going to take time for those feelings to come back. Now, that's my own personal issue. That's the way that I feel. I watched that Denmark game. I didn't really celebrate the goals, but at the end of the game, I felt a bit of emotion for Scotland that I haven't felt for a long time. And I want to support my country. I want Scotland to do well. I want to go back to the days of James McFadden scoring that goal against France, and at the end of the game, me bawling my eyes out because my country had done so well. And I want to go back to supporting my country in major tournaments and being really, really happy about it. But that's going to take time for me personally. Whether that's right or whether that's wrong, I'm happy to hear it from both sides about whether I'm being ridiculous, I'm being oversensitive, or I'm correct. That's a debate that's open. But everybody is entitled to feel the way that they want to feel about Scotland, about Rangers, about whatever club they support.
I fully agree with me. I fully agree. I think that it's down to your own personal preference. It's going to be down to your opinion. It's no surprise to anybody if you go back and watch it. The amount of emotions I was going through watching the Denmark game. I do feel emotion and passion that when I watched that, and I had to say at the end, I almost felt like I was going to start crying, same as yourself, because I thought for a change, actually my national team have actually managed to get to a major tournament, and I thought I couldn't help it. Do you know, just that feeling was there, and I've not for a while watching countless games of Scotland. I didn't feel it at all, but just then I think something was there to feel it, and it was just the fact that Scotland had managed to do something that by the time the World Cup comes from, they've not done in 28 years, and I just felt that. But everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I hope I'm not lecturing anybody that they have to be supporting Scotland, because there was a comment about it, and I don't want you to feel like I'm lecturing you in any way when it comes to supporting Scotland. If you don't want to support that national team, it's no
every right not to. Every right not to.
But if you want to just support Rangers and that be the only team you get behind, go for it. Put all your passion into supporting the Rangers team, and we'll keep going. But right now, for me, and I know it's a massive chat because I've done 3 shows now talking about Scotland. It's a massive achievement for the Scottish national team. But you can not like the SFA and still celebrate the achievement, because it's the group of players that were on the pitch that you're celebrating that achievement for.
Yeah, 100%. Right, let's go back to Rangers then, shall we? And yeah, by the way, that AJ, do you know what? The Robertson interview after it. Do you know, I was sitting and I didn't watch that live because I switched the game off when it was done. But I did see Robertson's interview on, I think, one of the socials. I don't know what one it was. And he was talking about how he was feeling it all day, and he was thinking about Jota, and he was thinking about Scotland and the position that Scotland were in. And I think I made the point to you. I don't know if I came on at half time in that Scotland game. I can't remember, Alex, but I think I made the point to you that Robertson's been off it. He's been terrible. And you forget the human element to it. You forget the nerves that they must be feeling, because I don't think Robertson played particularly well in that Denmark game. But you could see how much it meant to him at the end, and it just goes to show the players feel the same emotions as the supporters.
100%. I mean, I spoke about it last night with Connor. Scott McTominay scoring his goal, and his first reaction was, "Where's my mum?" Running to the corner because he was trying to find his mum in the crowd. The interview from John McGinn as well, like they're all saying, John McGinn was like, "We played crap, but we dug in as a team and as a squad, and managed to get the goals." You would expect those 3 goals to be scored in each individual week, and yet there were 3 worldies in one game. All the players were overcome with emotion, but there's human elements to every single one of them. And they're not going to be thinking, right, I play for Aston Villa, I play for Liverpool, I play for Celtic, I play for Hibs, I can't support any other team. No, right at that moment in time, they're thinking, I'm playing for Scotland and I'm playing for a nation. And I think that a lot of people are going to get caught up in the politics of it. But for me, it was the game, and it was who they were playing for and representing, and not the club that they actually play for.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the way it used to be. Hopefully, at some point in the future, we can get back to that. But it's still going to take a while for wounds to heal. And I completely get that, and I completely understand that. Folks, give us a wee like and share. Might as well on the back of that quite pessimistic conversation. But give us a like and a share on the old YouTube. Follow us across socials. All the links are in the description. Anyways, Alex, Rangers are back at the weekend. We have Livingston at home. I said it on the morning show. Let's be honest, there's not a lot more news out there. We'll get a bit more news tomorrow once the press conferences have been done, etc., etc. You couldn't ask, I don't think, for an easier home game after an international break, could you?
No, I don't think you could. I think that it's probably going to be Rangers' best chance after coming back off the international break to play. I'm not saying that Livingston are a poor team, but they are sitting at rock bottom of the SPFL at this moment in time. I think Rangers obviously will need to go out and put on a display. There will be some worries, the fact that our 2 main centre-halves are injured, but as you say, we'll not get any news until tomorrow. It could be a niggle and they're going to play, or we're going to have to play with a few other players. But for me, I'm just happy that Rangers are back on Saturday. We're actually going to get to watch a club game of football, because there's no feeling like the day starting off and you're knowing that they're playing later on. So for me, I think there's going to be tougher games that we're going to play, but coming back off an international break, I think you probably do take Livingston. A lot of folk would say, what about Dundee or Kelly? They always give us a game, regardless. I think that Livingston is probably the game that you actually do want to see, and just get a few players go out and actually stamp their authority, because
especially at Ibrox. Especially at Ibrox, Alex.
100%. I mean, the crowd are going to be fully up for it. It's almost 2 weeks since we last played a game, and the next 3 games are all at home. So they need to go out and actually get off the winning start, because after Saturday, we've got Braga. So the games are not going to get any easier. Do you know what I mean? So this game, they have to take it as no training game, because you don't do that with any game, but they have to go out and absolutely lead with comfortable, leave that game with a comfortable scoreline, 3-4-0, no injuries, a good clean sheet for Jack Butland, and just hope that we can get on to Thursday with a positive attitude.
Does the performance matter on Saturday?
I think it does. I think it does, because the performance is going to be what we are going to be feeling going into that Braga game. I think if we're looking at players and you're thinking they've not had a great game, or they were poor, they didn't show up, you don't want to be going in and watching like a 1-0 win. Even if we do dig in, it's Livingston. We need to be absolutely going out. The fact that Livingston have only scored 14 goals and conceded 23, they should be there 100% for the taking. And I think that's what Rangers need to be looking at. They've not had the greatest start to the season. And for us, we've been under Danny Rohl, and we're seeing glimmers of starting to work. The back four is looking like it's getting there. The strikers
Or
aren't
back
really
three,
scoring.
depending on what way you
Or
look
the
at it.
back three, depending on what's going to happen on Saturday. But I do think that the result's going to be there to build momentum. And I agree with Paul. It's going to have to, the momentum is going to need to be there 100% because we've had more than an abysmal start in the Europa League campaign. And if we go out and get a 1-0 or a 1 each, God forbid, against Livingston, the heats are going to be dropped and the fans are going to be on your back come Braga because they're going to be thinking that that's going to be a similar performance. So we need to go out and absolutely just smash Livingston and leave nothing that up for debate that we can do it against Braga.
Now, we'll probably find this out tomorrow, to be fair. I'm hoping somebody in the media asks anyway. But what's your thoughts about Big Dujon Sterling? Back training with the team. That's another couple of weeks he's had training as well. Obviously, no international football for Sterling. Jamaica missed him because I watched the game. Jamaica really did miss him. Do you think we'll see a return of Sterling due to the injuries we've got at the back?
I'd love to see Dujon Sterling back in. I'm a big Sterling fan. I'd love to see him get back in.
Do you think we should be extremely careful with him though, Alex?
We should. Like, I don't start Dujon Sterling. I think that we have to manage his minutes. All too often we get players who are coming back from injury. We say that, they've had a good couple of weeks in training, either training alone or with the team, and they go, right, they're fine, get back in. And then all it takes is one tackle and it's like, right, there he goes for another 8 months. So for me, we do see him, but it's like maybe the last 10, 15 minutes just to get him into the game, give him a chance to get out, because the sharpness isn't going to be there. The fitness isn't going to be there. Although he's had the time training, it's completely different to training on the training pitch, to getting out into a game when your teammates aren't going to snap through the back of you and hope that you're all right. They're going to try to leave a mark, especially for the fact that you're just back. So I do think we see Dujon Sterling, but it's not going to be for a massive impact on the game. I think it's if the game's comfortably won, we'll see him. See if we're like trying to chase a goal, like it's maybe just a 1-0. I don't think we see Dujon Sterling, because you have to protect his minutes, protect his recovery. I suppose you want to see him actually coming back into the game and not just going into it and then getting injured.
Yeah, 100%. Like you say, if it's going our way, which it should be on Saturday, then 15-20 minutes is ample for Big Dujon. Or the manager might just think to himself, I don't want to risk at all with the injuries that he's had. We'll bring him back as slowly as it takes. But we'll probably find out more tomorrow, Alex. But it does appear that we've got, a bit of a crisis in defence.
The 100%.
Suter's out. Cornelius is out. So we've got Fernandez, we've got Giga, we've got Inciala. That's about it. So if that is the case, it's going to be another change of formation on Saturday.
It's going to be another change, mate. I think obviously Inciala has.
We're going to go with one at the back.
I will go one at the back. We'll stick Tav at the back and say, right, on you go. You did it yourself. You got all the criticism as it is. So on you get. The issue you've got is that Inciala's not featured since Kilmarnock away. So more than likely it's going to be Giga and Fernandez, or Giga and Tav, and then you've got Aarons at right back. Which, if you're a Livingston, you're absolutely going to love the fact that you've got Aarons playing and then Tav at fullback at centre half, because Aarons is a bit of a liability right now. He's not really got the greatest of confidence. So it's going to be interesting to see if we go with a back three, a back five. And for me, those three players right there need to be not just playing; they need to be starting. Martin, for too long we've seen Barron have good spells and then not get a game. Cameron gets one game and then he doesn't get featured again, doesn't even get on the bench. And Finley's not really played at all. What was his last game? St Mirren. So
Finley, yeah. Well, Brian's asking, do you think we see Curtis in this stretch of games? Because there's a lot of games coming now in between now and New Year.
I mean, when you look at it, like just before even the 15th of December, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games between now and the 15th of December. Mental amount of games to be going through. And even once we get past the December to January, it's just game. It's like one every 3 days. There's absolutely no chance that we are going to be playing the same 11 every game. But we can't. No. We've no chance. So for me, Finley has to get a run of games. He's performed I might get a bit of criticism, but I think a lot of folk will agree he's played better than the likes of Ant-Man has been. He's played better than a lot of our strikers are right now.
Scored more goals than Chermiti.
Exactly. So for me, he has to get out there. There's a great shout in there with Bayrami as well. Obviously featured at the I think it was the weekend or midweek he's featured. So there's players that are getting game time.
Yeah, he started against England.
They're getting game time for their national team. So we're saying that they're good enough for the national team, but they're not good enough for our squad. I do think that if Danny Rohl's a clever man, it's going to be heavy rotation. I think, especially because we're so light at centre back, that it's going to be a heavy rotation now to see, well, what can I get that works, that I'm comfortable. He did it against Alloa. We played a centre mid at centre back. Could we see Conor Barron get put into the centre half if he's got no faith in him? Like, do you know what I mean? It's massive questions that Danny Rohl's got to try and answer now. But the issue is he's not got any time to tinker about. Martin, he needs to get it right because, as you said, the games are coming thick and fast now. And if we want any chance of climbing up this table, it starts with Livy.
I think the question for Stuart, do you think Curtis might go to Kelly on loan to help with the Watson deal? I don't know if he'll go to Kelly on loan to help with the Watson deal, but if he doesn't get minutes in this stretch of games and he has to go out on loan in January, he has to find a permanent move in January if Rangers don't see him, and which I think would be a mistake. But if he doesn't, if he gets maybe 1 or 2 games in this stretch up to January, he's got to find a loan. He's got to play football at his age.
100%. I don't think it strengthens the Watson deal, but just in terms of Finley's development, in terms of his career, he needs to. I think he needs to have the conversation, and he probably has. We don't know this, but he's probably had the conversation with Danny Rohl, asking if he's surplus to requirements. You know, am I actually needed here? Because I don't get on for games. The team's having shockers on the wings, and I'm still not good enough. So, am I actually needed at your football club, or can I go out on loan and actually get consistent game time? Because
the boy just wants to play football.
Because any other club, and I don't care, any other club in the SPFL, Finley goes and starts. He does, without a shadow of a doubt. He goes and starts, and we will then start to see that boy should have been starting for us. And that's exactly what will happen. And then he will do the likes of what Lennon Miller did. He will play for a team for a year, 2 years, and he'll be away as Willie said, he'll be away to a Scotland, an English team or an Italian team because they'll see the potential. We've seen it when Finley plays. Nearly every game he's played, he's got a goal this season, and yet we go, right, Finley, you're not needed. Your goals are nothing. Finley was getting more goals than our strikers, and yet still isn't getting an opportunity to play. If he doesn't, then I think that he has to. And there'll be a few players as well. You're in Ciala, might be looking at a loan. Bailey Rice might be looking at a loan. Chermiti might be looking at a loan. A player that I think might look at a loan, and as a fan, I really don't want to, but someone like Lyle Cameron might have to look at a loan because he's not getting the game time. By Rami, the players that we're saying should be starting aren't getting it. So I think that it's going to be massive for Danny Rohl to show that these players need to be here, they deserve the chance, and they actually are going to get game time.
And I think I trust Rohl to do that. I think I trust him to do that. The longer he's in the door, the more he gets to spend with the players. I trust him. I really do trust him to do that. And Brian's asking, how soon do we expect the set piece coach to bear fruit? Right away, first game. If it doesn't work first game, sack him.
Get him gone. We'll drive him back down, right? Get out. It has to be. We've had so long. I'm not saying it's going to be first game it works straight away, but for so long we're saying, why have we not got a set piece coach? We've got players that can deliver corners, free kicks, no bother. I want the set piece coach to be saying, Tav, stop running the length of the pitch just to take a bloody throw in. Let somebody else do it. Just let somebody else do it. Stop running the whole pitch to get a throw in.
Do you know what it is? It's when the person's about to take the throw in and you see their heat dropping because Tav's running towards them as if to go, oh, for God's sake, no, just let me take it. Let me take it.
And that's exactly what you want to see, but it has to be an impact straight away because we've been missing it for so long.
Yeah, and this local coach, as Sean has mentioned in the comments, where is he? I don't know, but I've expected him to be in by now. Still a couple of days to go, but we'll see. We will see on that. Hopefully, we've got a bit more news tomorrow after the press conference. Alex, mate, thank you for joining me.
Cheers, mate. Sorry I was late, but thank you very much.
And apologise to your wife and children. because
I'm going to get booted in the balls as soon as I go out, because they've just come in going, where are you? And I'm like, I'm on a pod. So I'm going to get booted in the balls. So it's all right. You'll not see me for a week.
Just apologise and say it's not my fault, right? That's all you do. That's all you do. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in. Folks, if you can, please like, share and subscribe the pod on YouTube. It really, really does help. And if you come back and hit that hype button as well, it hypes the pod, clues in the name. And if you want to help us out even more, then you can join as a member now. Links are in the description, and you can join myself tonight at 7 p.m. for Martin's nightly chats. I don't know. I just make up any name for the pods nowadays. A wee Q&A at 7 p.m. tonight, folks, just with myself and the members, just discussing everything and anything. Doesn't even necessarily need to be Rangers related. But however, we will find something to talk about tonight at 7 p.m. on the Rabble YouTube members page, and then shortly after it will be uploaded on to our Patreon. So thank you very much to everybody who tuned in. Thank you to all our members, subscribers, etc. for keeping the show going. It's greatly appreciated. Alex, mate, again, thank you.
Cheers, mate.
And we'll speak to you all very, very soon.